So I'm here today at the Magistrates Court of Magistrate Court of Victoria, hopefully for the last time in a while. For those of you who don't know, I've actually been on bail for a year and a half since the 31st of August 2021, which I spent 22 days in solitary confinement for. I've been intimidated with warrants for passwords and all sorts of things, intimidation tactics and all sorts of things. And that chapter, the 5 charges that I was arrested, strip searched and put in prison for, that chapter is actually closed and I am now off bail, which is absolutely a win in itself. And just to talk about the case today, it went really well. I think we got a great judge. I think she was very fair under the circumstances. I was able to bring up some really valid points, which are things like the directions were probably not valid because they weren't put in place the right way and things like that. But that's a conversation for another day. But under the circumstances, the magistrate, I believe, definitely did the best she could in the situation that she had, which is that I was found guilty of breaking the COVID restrictions because I was guilty of that, which I said, but there's no conviction. Now, one of my biggest points today in court was to actually not use the excuse for breaking the COVID restrictions, like, I was a journalist or things like that. Because if I was to use an excuse, it would say that everyone else that left their home during COVID shouldn't have, and that I am separated because I have this journalist privilege. I disagree with that. Every human being in Australia had the right to leave their home. And just keep in mind that a year and a half of this, in prison, out of prison, in and out of court, all because I left my home. And what I think is the best thing about today is not necessarily the outcome, but the fact that the judge gave me the space and the time to actually say everything I wanted to say. She didn't stop me. She didn't criticize me. She let me speak for about 8 to 10 minutes about the moral arguments that I have as to why it was our duty to protest, why it was our duty actually to break the COVID restrictions. And also the fact that we have been vilified, by the way, that lockdowns were onerous, that they were overreaching, and they did create more harm than they did good. So I was able to voice that in court, and I'm so grateful that I was able to do that because not many people have, from what I understand. And I'm just going to finish off by saying thank you to I think there was 60 or 70 people here today. Thank you so much for your support. The room was literally vibrating with support and energy. And it's probably one of the most memorable times in my life today. So it's been very impactful and I feel really free. And I hope that you can have a glass of champagne to support with me because I'm definitely going to have a bottle. So till next time, hopefully not here, but thanks for being on this journey with me. Thanks for all the financial support, all the support. And let's see what the next chapter holds. And don't you worry, we're coming after them because they do not have the right to do what they did to people like me without any excuse and without any explanation as to why they just withdrew charges and did these sorts of things. So I'm going to continue to fight, not just for me, but for all of us. And hopefully I can continue to speak. I can continue to speak on your behalf. And I hope I did you all proud. See ya.